There are so many to-do apps out there that we sometimes forget about one of the best ones. Years ago, Apple Reminders was a laughable to-do app, but nowadays it can be a real powerhouse, if you know how to use it. So I'm here to do exactly that. If you're new to the channel and love tech as much as I do, consider subscribing. I'd greatly appreciate it. So on the most basic part of reminders, let's take a look at the main screen. Here on the top part, you'll see the categories that Apple has made for you. These are unchangeable and uneditable, unfortunately. The only thing you can do with these is see what's inside of them and either hide or show them. If you're completely new to Apple Reminders, there might be some categories here that you might not understand straight away, but very soon you will, so don't worry about it. Under the main categories, we then have My Lists. Now this is where your actual categories will live. You'll be able to create a list, set any name, emoji, color, or list type. Now by list type, they refer to having a standard or a smart list. A smart list is a list like any other, but that is easily added to by any type of filter or keyword. Let's assume you want all of your reminders due at a certain time in one place, but they're in different categories. That's what this list is for. Or maybe you want a list specifically designed for high priority tasks that are going to be due after a certain day in the year. It's basically a list that's very specific and curated and not really meant to be used as your general grocery store list. And to be honest, if you ever need this list, I think you'll know. Moving on, once you've created your list, we start to enter into a little bit of a deeper territory. When you click on the plus button and go to add a reminder, there's a few things which are pretty easy to understand, such as the title, notes, and URL. But there's also a few that you might not know. The urgent slider was a feature they added not too long ago, and all it does is add your reminder as an alarm. So if you're a person who doesn't constantly check their phones or sees the reminders but decides to brush it off, this makes your phone ring instead of just delivering the notification quietly. Moving on to list, it's pretty simple. Once you have various lists, whether work, home, groceries, or something else, this is where you assign that label to. Tags is another interesting one. As we saw when we were creating the list, it allowed us to filter by tags. There, you're able to select a specific word to assign to a list so that any subsequent reminder with that word will automatically be shown there as well as in its main place. It's particularly useful if you have one task that would need to fit various categories, but you don't want to write it in all of them. Priority is another really useful feature. For those people that like to tick off the most urgent things first, Priority allows you to do exactly that. You can set the priority of a task to either none, low, medium, or high, and then get categorized in that same list by priority if that's something you prefer, and subsequently in any smart lists you have previously created. And the last three are pretty self-explanatory. In location, you can set to be reminded of something when either leaving or arriving to that location, as well as entering or exiting your car. And one of the most important features in my opinion, Reminders allows you to be reminded of something when you go to text a specific person. It's one of my favorite features and one that I think brings a lot of value that other to-do apps simply don't have. And before we move on, I want to take a second to talk about today's sponsor, Tandem. Have you ever thought about what actually happens to your crypto when you leave it on an exchange on an app? Like you don't really own it. There's always some platform in the middle deciding what you can and can't do with your money. That's exactly what Tandem fixes. It's a hardware wallet, but not the kind with cables and buttons and a whole setup process. It literally looks like a bank card. You tap it to your phone, the app opens, and that's it. Your crypto is stored offline, fully in your hands with no third party involved. I've been using it and I love the simplicity. It takes like 2 minutes to set up. It supports basically every coin and it costs around $50, which compared to other hardware wallets is really accessible. They also have Tandem Pay, which allows you to use your own crypto like a regular bank card. You can buy coffee, subscribe to services, and use it in your everyday transactions. It allows you to actually use your crypto in daily life, which is something the world has been lacking for many years. If you hold any crypto at all, this is worth looking into, and you can get a 10% discount with my code down below. Once inside your list with a few reminders set, by clicking on the 3 dots on the top right, we get another world of features to better optimize our reminders and our workflow. The first option we see is the View as Columns option. This option, in my opinion, is the better way to look at your workflow. It obviously depends person per person, but I think the look is a lot more spaced out and organized. It just lets you see more curated tasks at a glance instead of it all being mixed together. After that, if you do want to edit your list, such as the name or the emoji, you can do so by clicking on Show List Info. And at the bottom, you can also turn it into a smart list as we had previously spoken about. You can also auto-categorize with Apple Intelligence, which isn't a feature I recommend you use because it could mess up your whole workflow. But in a nutshell, Apple Intelligence just tries to understand all of the tasks you have and then it tries to reorganize them for you. But in my experience, it hasn't done a great job. The sort by feature is pretty standard. You can sort by due date, creation date, priority, or title. There's nothing else to see there. And while by save as template, it means you can save your whole reminders and workflow in that list as a template to then be added to another list. And while in case there's ever a moment where you want to print out your own to-do list, there's an option right there as well. Continuing on the list section, once in your columns or groups, if you select a task by just holding it down, more options will appear. There's some basic reminder options there, but there's also really useful ones like indent, where it allows you to quickly move the tasks into subtasks without having it done prior. You're also able to move your tasks around, add tags or priority settings, as well as flag it. Now the flag option is an interesting one. It's not meant to be used as a priority situation, but just something to keep in mind for the future that you may not want to forget and want to keep coming back to. As for actual features, those are really the main ones. There's smaller ones I didn't mention, but they're features that aren't really worth explaining or are self-explanatory. As for tips, my biggest recommendations would be to try to make great use out of the columns, subtasks, and lists. The fact that reminders allows you to have various lists is something that not many to-do apps allow, and it's a great feature. Urgent reminders are some of the best ways to always complete the task, since you'll definitely be reminded of whatever you have to do. And if you're a person that has a lot of tasks due, I'd highly recommend using the priority features and putting your list as a sort by priority. It'll always give you at a glance what needs to be done first. And on that topic, creating a smart list with different priorities is also something I highly recommend doing. If you have a work thing to be done, you need to go to the grocery store as well as tend to children or studies, having that smart list tell you exactly what needs to be done in the day, no matter the list, is great. Apple Reminders nowadays is heavily underrated and still gets overshadowed by the much bigger to-do apps on the App Store, which speaking of, last week I compared the best to-do app on the App Store versus Apple Reminders, and to be honest, the results weren't quite as I expected them to be. There's going to be a card on screen and at the end of the video in case you want to go ahead and watch that one. If you made it to the end of the video, I thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video and want to see more, leave in the comments what you want me to talk about or review and I'll gladly do so. If you haven't subscribed, consider doing so as it helps out the channel a lot. And while since there's nothing left to be said, I'll see you guys in the next one.